Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. Good to see you. As you're joining me live, let me know you are here. I'm going live at a decent hour. Not too shabby, right? Not too shabby. I actually had a whole different live planned for tonight. I actually was going to go earlier. I had this whole thing planned. And, sometimes it doesn't turn out the way you actually plan things. You know what I mean? So, hi, Shadi June. How are you? Welcome. Good to see you. T Money is up and awake. I'm glad you're here, brother man. Shadi June, welcome. So yeah, as I was saying, I had this whole other live planned. I was going, say John, how are you, my man? Namaste. Good to see you, brother. You're up, huh? That's nice. You're up early. All the way from India. That is awesome. So I had a whole other live plan. I'm busting up the robe and I'm kicking it. It's been one of those days and it's cold. So I had this whole other live plan for tonight, but like I said, things didn't go the way I planned, and I'm going to share a couple things about my day today, and because I truly believe there is coaching opportunity in it, right? So I talked to a couple people today, and I just before I went live, and I think I may have told somebody I had a long day, and as I had told him that, and I got on here, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I really don't ever want to say that again. So from this point on, you'll never hear me say I had a long day or a short day, because the day is whatever it is. My thing has always been, if you squeeze more out of the day or the day squeezes more out of you, the length of the day is the same, no matter what, right? So today is one of those days that definitely squeezed the heck out of me. But you know what? In one of those days that you get squeezed the heck out, like you basically, things go wrong, right? Just you get bad news, you get this, you get that. When that happens, and you feel like, like today, I almost felt like deflate, like I just kind of just, right? I literally just sat down on the couch for maybe about half an hour, 45 minutes ago after this day. Now, I'm going to tell you about my day in a second, but I want you to know that in the worst days that you feel like there's nothing more in you, I want you to think twice, because there's always going to be more in you. There has to be. Listen to me. There has to be. There has to be more in you, because other people depend on you. So don't count yourself out, even on your worst days. That's my point. Don't even count yourself out, because you never know. You never know. You never know. So let me start my day. I'm going to share with you what happened today. So today was, I had a couple of doctor's appointments. And so, let me just give background. So some of you are new to my life. Real quick background. So in the past now it's been a couple of years almost that I've lost a lot of weight, 49 pounds. I've lost 49 pounds, and I didn't want to even lose 1 pound. So I know everybody says, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm like, no, that is so not amazing. That is like so far away from being amazing. That is so not amazing. So I lost 49 pounds and I didn't know what was going on. So I eat the same stuff, but I can't keep this stuff in. So anyway, long story longer, a year and a half of testing. I even swallowed a camera pill. So some of you guys had seen that, and I shared that. So they told me that the pancreas is shut down. The enzyme, you don't have the enzymes that it produces to digest the food and absorb the nutrients. Okay, pause. Great. And then within a 92-day, like I said, my job dumped me, my girl dumped me, and then I got this news about my health, right? So when my job laid me off, here's what it circles today, I promise. When they laid me off, I only could take advantage of that insurance for 3 more months, right? Unless I wanted to pay every month for it. Well, why would I do that when I can take Medi-Cal, right? Straight up. So decided to go with Medi-Cal, signed up for that. And so now all my doctors, the 4 specialists that have been working on me for a year and a half, my primary doctor, none of them do Medi-Cal. Okay, no problem. Happens, right? So I called to, get a doctor. With Medi-Cal, what I'm finding out is brand new to me. So what I'm finding out is that they refer other specialists to you. Like you go to your main doctor and then, they refer. So I called to make an appointment, right? I've been waiting for this appointment for 5 weeks. Okay, 5 weeks. So my condition, my doctor, when I told him, hey, my insurance is going to change and stuff, he goes, with your condition, you don't want to let this go. You want to continue following up with this and not get worse and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. So I called the doctor, make an appointment, 5 weeks. Today is the appointment. Okay, here we go. I brought you up to date. Whew. Okay. So today I wake up, I go to the doctor's appointment. It is literally, I use the app called Waze. I don't know if wherever you are, you have it Waze or not, but I use the app Waze. My appointment was at 9 o'clock. I got there at 9:31. Don't ask me why. Okay, this is the start of the day. Okay. If you can imagine 18,000 red lights, I had them. If you can imagine every construction zone that said detour, I had them. If you can imagine every slow car in front of me that I wouldn't be able to move, I had them. And when I get there, if you would guess that I went to the wrong building, because according to the address, I even did that. So I got there at 9:31. Anyway, I get there. The reception is super nice. I'm trying to, crack jokes. I always do. I crack jokes and make her laugh and stuff. And I go, my goodness, I'm sorry. It took me, long time to get here. And she said, well, I can't see you. I mean, it's half an hour late. I can't see you. I'm like, I kind of knew that was going to happen. So I told her just like a snapshot of my story. And she goes, hold on. Goes in the back, comes back, goes, you know what? You can see the doctor's assistant at 1:30. And I go, it's my first appointment. I really don't want to see the assistant. What's the next appointment? December 6th. Are you serious right now? Okay. You're really putting me in a corner, huh? All right. Assistant it is, 1:30. Come back at 1:30. No problem. No problem. You ready? So I get out of there. I'm like, what am I going to do till 1:30? I was going to get some groceries. There's a Persian Red supermarket there that is my favorite. So I go there to get some groceries, and I'm there and I'm waiting for something. Phone rings. It's my dad. It's kind of awkward because he usually doesn't call during the day unless something's going on, right? So I pick up the phone, and I know he had an appointment with somebody. So I was kind of thinking that's going to be a thing, right? So I pick up the phone and I say, hey, how you doing? And he's all, hey, your mom's not doing good. Now let me pause there for a second, because when it comes to my mom, I'll drop anything. Like my mom, yeah. So I'm like, what do you mean? And he's all like, oh, her sister, my aunt, passed. We kind of knew this was going to happen, but she was in Iran and my mom was here, and she hadn't seen her for a couple of years, and her health had deteriorated, like she had become skin and bones, right? Cancer had ate it. Just, okay. So I'm like, and this is my favorite aunt, right? I'm sorry if this is a little morbid, but I promise I'll cheer you up at the end. Um, I'm telling you, you're gonna pick something up out of this if you haven't already. Um, so I'm not really happy with that news, to be honest with you, because that's my favorite aunt, and I didn't get to see her for 35 years, and now I feel really bad. But I'm like, okay, you know what? My mom is a lot more important than I am. So I go to my mom's and I sit with her. We chat a little bit. I pick her up. I bring her to my own place, and I say, just be here. I got a doctor's appointment. I gotta go to at 1:30, and I'll pick up food and come back. And she goes, okay, crying, and obviously we're getting phone calls. Everybody's, and I haven't shared this with anybody, by the way. This is obviously, and anybody who hears this will find out. I haven't told like anybody person-wise. But wait, it gets better. I told you a little bit about my health, right? 2 years of testing. I have done scopes of the yin yang. Like I've done everything, like twice. Okay. Been waiting for 5 weeks. Have no idea what's going on, right? So I'm kind of I'm really excited about this appointment with the doctor, right? Was really ticked off this morning when I missed it, but I was so grateful that she gave me wasn't happy about the assistant thing. I just, anyway, I get in at 1:30, boom, on time. And the receptionist's name was so difficult to remember. I had to because I like to remember their name. I said, "What's your name?" And she goes, first of all, I thought she said Thailand. I go, Thailand. She goes, no. And then she repeated it. I said, oh, my land. She goes, no. I go, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Could you spell it for me, please? And she goes, yeah, Paoyen. I go, how did I get Thailand out of that? It's Paoyen. Tanya, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. So when I go back, hey Deb, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So when I go back at 1:30, I remembered her name. I said, hey Paoyen, how are you? See, I made it at 1:30. She goes, yes, you did. Glad to see you. Have a seat. We're gonna call you in. I get called in. Are you ready? I wasn't ready. Before I tell you what happened in that room, okay, I want to give you something. I want to tell you something. Most of you know this about me, but some of you are new. So I have had 7 surgeries. I am a cancer survivor, and I have over 200 stitches in my body. And I've spent more than 42 days, not in a row, but overall, 42 days or nights and days in a hospital, in hospitals, multiple hospitals, right? And the reason why I tell you that is because you would think that I've come across a lot of doctors. You would think? Yes or yes? Drop some. Hey, you guys still out there? Or you guys still out there? Drop something in the comments. Tell me you're still awake. Pamela, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Now the pressure's on. I gotta keep this my A game on now. So if you guys still there, maybe throw some hearts, hate, love, whatever. Are you still awake? So the reason why I tell you that is because you would think that I've seen a couple doctors, right? Like I've seen doctors. I've dealt with nurses. I have so much respect for nurses. If you've ever been a nurse and you told me you're a nurse, you know the first sentence out of my mouth is that I have so much respect for what you do because I'd be dead if you weren't around. Just to hear what happened. Yes, thank you. Okay, stun double hanging tough. T money, yes. So thank you. I appreciate it. So I go to so I tell you that so you know that I've had a few doctors, right? Like my thing is I love cracking up doctors and nurses, especially like if I'm going for a surgery. I mean, somebody's cutting you up. You don't want them in a ticked off mode. I don't know about you, but I don't want somebody cutting me up when they had a fight with their wife last night. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to make you laugh. I'm going to crack you up as much as I can because I want you in a good mood when you cut me open. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just my thing. So maybe you do it a whole different way, but that's me. So I've dealt with a lot of doctors, okay? So I go in, it's the assistant, right? Yeah, hell no, yeah, yeah. I go, I'm glad you weren't there with me, Shadi. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah. So I go in, right? I told you a little bit about the history so that you see like this is the first time I'm seeing this doctor, right? So I mean, I've had 7 surgeries. I've been going through testing for 2 years now. Yeah. Um, I would think that, you know, they would be interested in like, what the heck is wrong with you, right? So anyway, I start telling her my story. I say, hey, you know, I know I have a few things that are going wrong and, you know, just, so let me kind of give you an update. This is what happened. I had to change insurances and now all my doctors and everything has to change. So, you know, I'm going through Medi-Cal and now we're here. And so I've lost 49 pounds in the past, you know, year and a half, 2 years now. And we didn't know why. And this is what's going on. And the last thing they told me that my pancreas is shut down, right? And doesn't produce the enzymes. And then she's typing, right? And she goes, okay, okay. Really, like attitude, right? Okay, okay. And then I go, okay. And then I go, I know you thought you're just gonna have this one patient, but I got so much going on with me that you know, that's kind of why I'm here. I kind of want to share those with you. And it felt like, boom! I hit her with a baseball bat. She goes like this. Well, you know, I don't have time for all that. I only have 20 minutes. So, and I can only deal with one thing at a time. I can't do multitasking. And I just went like this. I went, are you talking to me? Like, what did I do? I go, well, I know, I understand exactly what I said. I said, I get it. I get it. Yeah, I get it. But you know what? Some patients may need more than 20 minutes because there may be a couple more things wrong with them. I don't have time for them. They need to reschedule. I go, I see. So you want me to come to you because I have 4 specialists that are working on me. And you need to refer all those 4 to me. You see, I can't go to them. Okay. So you need to refer 4 to me. So for those 4 alone, not my other issues, but those 4 alone, you want me to come to you today, wait another 5 weeks, come back for another referral, wait another 5 weeks, come back for another referral, wait another 5 weeks, come back with another referral? Is that what you want me to do? Because, well, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. I said, I see. Okay. You know, my knee, my left knee, you guys, some of you guys know, I've had this knee issue about a couple of weeks now. I said, you know, my left knee is really killing me. She goes, like I said, I don't have any time for that. If your left knee is killing you, then you need to make a reschedule and decide what you want to talk about the next time. You know, there's a lot of things I wanted to say. A lot of things came to my mind. I chose to go with this one. I said, you know, I like to think you're joking, but I don't think you're joking. Let me give you a little background, and I don't really care if you have 20 minutes. I've had 7 surgeries. I'm a cancer survivor. I have over 200 stitches in my body. I've spent 42 nights, not in a row, in different hospitals. I've never, ever, ever come across a human being like you, let alone a doctor like you. This is how you talk to your patients? You know what she told me? What do you think she told me? What do you guys think she told me? I'll wait a couple of seconds. What do you think her response was to me? That just lit me up. I was doing well to that point. I kind of was, actually. I kind of was getting ticked off. No, that's not what she said. She did not say, oh, well. Well, maybe in a different format. You know what she said? She said, you can go to another doctor if you like. You see my tone of voice though, right? You can go to another doc. You can go to another doc. No, yeah. No, she said, you can go to another doctor if you want. I said, that's your answer to me? That's your answer to me. After all this, that's what you tell me? I can go see another doctor? That's what you just told me. She goes, yes. I go, you know what? You can just go ahead and wrap this up. Finito. We're done. This conversation is now officially over. She goes, I wish you good luck. I go, the problem is I don't believe in luck, but I wish you well. I came out to the lobby, right? It's all good, yeah. I was ticked off. I was ticked off for a couple of reasons. Well, and I was ticked off because I was dealing with my aunt as well. Been waiting for this doctor for 5 weeks, and all this stuff. So the receptionist says, so what happened? I go, this relationship is not going to go anywhere. I want to see the doctor. And obviously my appointment is December 6th. I made an appointment with them. Anyway, well, what did she do then? Anything she addressed? Nothing. No, nothing. She literally erased everything she typed in. Literally, she highlighted everything and hit delete. And send me my way. Nothing. I'm like, I told her, I said, I've never met somebody like you. Somebody like you, let alone a doctor. What the? I didn't know if this was like a joke. Like is this like a hidden camera? Are you playing with me right now? Like seriously? Like I was like, that's what you just told me? Like that's your answer to all this? So I come out to the lobby, right? Pao Yen, my girl Pao Yen in the front. She knew I was pissed. Oh man, I go, Pao Yen, what's wrong with her? Is she even a real like assistant? Like seriously, is she a real PA? Seriously, is she? And what is up with her attitude? I'm the patient. Hello? I thought I was the patient. And so like, I'm sorry. I said, I hate hearing I'm sorry's. It's like so annoying. It's like talking to somebody from AT&T constantly. I'm sorry. It's like, dude, fix my internet. I'm sorry it doesn't fix my internet. Anyway, I'm a little ticked off today. So I go, Pao Yen, who can I talk to about her? Not really talk to, complain. So I got her supervisor's name. I will be calling her supervisor tomorrow. I don't complain. In my life, this would be my 3rd complaint call. I don't complain call. I don't, unless you really tick the freak out of me. But I feel like I talked about this one time before about bedside manners with doctors, right? Some have it, some don't. And you've been with the doctors that are like dry, you know what I mean? Like they're dry. They got no sense of humor. They're just there to do their thing, and they're not a conversationalist. You know what I mean? They don't want to hear about your dog. They just want to know, hey, your stomach hurts? Okay, take this, get out. You know, I get those doctors. I have no problem with those. I've had those doctors. Believe me, I've had those doctors. Dry as like a drywall, like, right? I've tried cracking them, nothing. Nothing works, right? Okay, no problem. But I'm not gonna put up with some kind of rude, that's the difference. So you can be dry, but you don't have to be rude to people. I told you I'm gonna come full circle at the end. So I get out, you know, get the dinner or lunch or dinner or whatever, come home and, you know, run it. You know, my parents asked, so how was your doctor's appointment? And, you know, I told them for the first time I got ticked off at the doctor, you know. And the funny thing is, like I said, I'm going to wrap this full circle. The funny thing is, some of you know my relationship with my dad. A little bit about my relationship with my dad. It's funny how people can. It's funny how people can make suggestions, make recommendations. I'm going to put it very nicely, okay? I'm not going to be mean. It's funny how people can make recommendations or suggestions when they're not in the game. Okay? If you're not in the football game, if you're not in the field playing, nobody cares what you say. You ain't playing. We have a saying in Farsi, I think it goes by, کنار گود نشستی میگی لنگش کن. If I'm right, Shadi Jun, am I right? I think I'm right. کنار گود نشستی میگی لنگش کن, which means in a wrestling, I guess, example, you're sitting outside the ring, but you're telling the guy who's actually in the ring what to do, and you're not even a coach. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So it's like, it's amazing how people love that. People love to give their opinions about other people's situations where they're not in it. Did you get that? People love to give their opinions about other people's situations when they're not in it. And when they are in it, they don't do as they preached. Did you get that? I'm asking you to stay away from those people and don't be one of those people. Ever. I gave you 2 examples of people that you don't want to be like. You don't want to be like that physician assistant, Michelle. Oh, I'm going to make a phone call tomorrow. I'm going to have fun with that one. Don't be like that. You know what I told the receptionist? I said, listen, if she's having a bad day, take a day off. If she doesn't like what she's doing, find something else to do. Don't take it out on me. I ain't going to be like that. Listen, I'm not one of those that just sits there and says, oh, let me just give you one piece of thing in 20 minutes and beg for your time in the next 5 weeks, and we can go with one. What the? Are you serious right now? Last doctor I went to, my first appointment, he set an hour and a half with me. The doctor before that, first time I went to, he set an hour and a half with me. The first doctor I went to Michigan with, she said an hour and a half with me. Okay, you want to give me 20 minutes? Great. When I called you 5 weeks ago to set my appointment and I told you my story, you should have told me, listen, your story is not a 20-minute story. So you got to find another doctor because we only do 20-minute stories here. If you're sicker more than 20 minutes, what I'm telling you is if you're in a business that deals with people, you got to kind of treat them nice or don't be in that business. Shadi, I'm going to give you an example. She's a photographer, right? Okay. You should see some of the work she does. She doesn't even like talk about her work. Like her work literally speaks out. Like seriously, it's amazing. Now, when she's doing a shoot, I'm pretty sure I've never been to her shoot. Never shot me, thank goodness, not with a gun. But when she goes to a shoot, I'm pretty sure she doesn't tell the person, by the way, I only got 16 minutes, 0.56 seconds. And if you can't do pictures between that, then tough luck. I'm pretty sure she doesn't do that because I remember days that she would say, I am at this shoot the whole day because I can't get it right. I mean, there's two kinds of people that give service. I mean, just straight up. Like, you don't go there and like be a jerk to the person. Look, does a plumber show up at a plumbing job being a jerk? Hey, he may not like the job, but he's doing it. Now, people are allowed to have a bad day. I'm not saying, listen, I've had bad days, okay? But I'm just saying, if you're in an environment where people are coming to you, especially if they're coming to you for your product and your service, you don't slap them in the face. Probably not a good idea for business. I'm just saying. Somebody came to me and said, I want to buy your toothpaste. I'm not going to slap him in the face and say, well, here you go. What the? Right? So there's the lesson from the doctor's appointment. Now, I'm going to save the best for last because I started with the saddest, my aunt. Okay? My aunt was one of the most amazing human beings on this planet Earth, honestly. And I don't say that about a lot of people. She was one of the kindest and most giving people I've ever met. Definitely the most giving and loving person in the whole entire family. For sure, like 100%, right? Yeah, you don't want to be like T-Money's neighbor either. So my mom was just devastated because this was her last sister. No one else is left in the family really, and it's just really heartbreaking. It's just unbelievable. And she hadn't seen her for a couple of years, and her health had really deteriorated, and she was suffering. She was hurting bad, and I found out stuff about her son and things that I'm not going to bring up, but homie, if you're watching, anyway. But what I want to share with you is this: death is a funny thing. I know you may say death is not funny, but death is funny. Funny in a weird way, because it's funny because the person who's gone is completely released and relieved in most cases. Okay? But not so much for the people who stick around, right? The people who stick around are now thinking, well, that person is no longer here, right? Now, some of you may think I'm just heartless or don't have a heart or emotionless or what have you, which is totally cool. But I also do work with logic, and I have to calm my mom. So one thing I told her that I think it kind of may have worked, and I want to share this with you is I asked her, I said, how old was my aunt when she died? She said she's 3 years younger than me, which is 79. My mom is 82. Amazing. She's amazing. Anyway, she's 79. And I said, okay, 79. And we're talking, and for the past 2.5 years, she was really suffering. Like her health went from here, like to here, right? And I said, what do you remember about her? Because if you knew my aunt, and I asked you that question, everybody would give this answer. Okay. And she said, oh, her dimples and her smile. Like she had the most, her smile. Like she just would bring a glow to the room, right? It's just unbelievable, right? Some people are like that. I love that. I love that. Just like I think it's one of the hottest things. But so I told her, I said, so why are you crying now? She asked me, well, because I didn't see her, and she's dead, and she was my last sister. I said, yeah, okay, but I mean, wouldn't you rather like celebrate all those like years that you remember her smiling and giving and being there for this person and that person and this and all the stuff that she did as a single mom for the rest of her life, in Iran back in the day, and yet she built a very amazing life, owned homes, and gave to so many people. She said, you're right. I said, we can sit here and mourn her death all we want. We can sit here and just bang our heads and cry. But I kind of don't want to remember her like that. I really don't. I actually don't want to remember her like that. Because the last memory I have for her, and I've talked to her on the phone, it's not like I haven't been communicating with her, but I haven't been to Iran for 35 years. So I haven't seen any of my family for 35 years. So, but I've talked to her on the phone. She's, like I said, one of my favorite aunt. So I said, I don't want to remember her like that. I just want to remember her like smiling, laughing. And I know her spirit is smiling. And if I love somebody, like little guy, for example, you guys know, I mean, the two of you who are on, you do know. My best friend. But he was suffering. I don't like to see people suffer. And when it's time to go, it's time to go. There's no need for anybody to suffer. And I think it's sometimes, I know some of you guys are going to hate me. I know, I'm telling you. For the past week, everybody's been hating me anyway. I think in a way it's selfish of us to mourn. I know, relax, but let me give you an explanation. I think it's really selfish because I could have kept the little guy with me longer, but it would have been selfish because I would have wanted him with me. He was suffering. That's selfish. Me wanting to have like I said, please don't judge me, or if you do, that's okay. Me wanting to have my aunt live longer the way in her condition, that would be selfish. That would be selfish. I don't want, come on. If you are the kind of a person who would like to keep the loved one around and see them suffer just because of you, I mean, I call that selfish. I'm sorry. I mean, but it's so hard. Like, yeah, I was just going to say, it's so hard to deal with that. Because how do you respond to something like that, right? I mean, like I said, I work with logic, but You know, I shared that with my mom as much as I could, not to the extent, man, I'm busting up again. Man, this week has been crazy. Um, I was gonna say something funny, but I'm not gonna go there. I was, but I'm not. So I talked to my mom about it a little bit, but you know, sometimes you can't. I mean, you know, she's 82 years old. But here's what I want to share with you. I want to share with you this. Death is a funny thing in a weird way. And it happens to everyone, right? And this is our opportunity. This is what I was going to mic drop with. This is our opportunity, okay, to collect things, good things, good memories, good thoughts, all these little things, to collect these things from the people we love while they are alive. So when it's time for them to go, we're not selfish. And we get to hold on to those good things. That's kind of my thought. Now, like I said, some of you may not really dig that thought, and that's totally cool. But you know, I'm happy for my aunt, because the things I heard today, I didn't know. I just don't get really involved in a lot of, I know, like I said, some of you guys are gonna hate me, but just don't get involved in a lot of family stuff. But the stuff I heard today, that, you know, it just broke my heart even more. I was actually happy for her to go today when I heard that. All this stuff I heard. And I asked my mom to be happy for her. When she left tonight, I told my mom, I said, you know what? I want you to be happy for her. You're sad, but her, happy for her. I'm sad. I get it. But, you know, and that, yes, we shouldn't be more de paras, but unfortunately it's not. I know it is. You know, it's like a mindset shift. Man, this live was a little longer. I did not want to talk this long, you guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's like a mindset shift, and I know it's such a cultural thing too. And it's not our culture alone, but our culture is really like heavy. I mean, we mourn for 40 days. That's heavy. You know, like you don't want to not, like you don't want to let go of mourning. You purposely carry it for 40 days. That's like, you know, heavy. And now that I'm getting into like a lot of personal development and all this mindset shift and meditation and all this stuff bugs me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. You know, you don't want to mourn for 40. You want to be happy. I mean, I want to be happy for her, because I know I'm gonna see her in my dreams, and I'm gonna see her one day, and I know I can already see her spirit smiling. I mean, I literally see that. She had the biggest dimples on the planet Earth, and like on the planet, like the prettiest, the biggest dimples. Maybe that's why I've always been attracted to dimples, because she had them. But and she had this smile that would just, you could be, I don't know if you know anybody like that. You could be the saddest person on the planet, and she would just walk into a room and say something, and like you would almost feel like everything went away. You know what I mean? Have you ever had something like that? Kind of crazy. I haven't even seen her for 35 years though. Anyway, hopefully you guys got some love out of this. My end would be to wrap it up for you, to summarize, if you would. Sorry this took so long, because I normally don't talk this long. But so one is this. Listen, if you're in contact with people, please be nice. That's it. Like, if you can't be nice, don't be in touch with people. Simple as that, right? Listen, the world needs more nice people. It does. It's crazy. You wake up 18 people have died. The rapper guy died today. They shot him, right? I don't know who. Everybody's like killing everybody. Please, in this kind of a world, that honestly, we just need more nice people. Not somebody like Michelle, the PA. Not even if she were nice to me with that 20 minutes, I would have said, oh, well, okay. I mean, what can you do? That's what I would have said. Not with that tone, not with that attitude. It's like, what the, right? I was going to say, I'm not a chiropractor, but you need an adjustment, an attitude adjustment. And the second thing is this, listen, fortunate or unfortunate, I guess it's subjective, people will leave our lives. And the time that you spend with them is an opportunity for you to collect things that will help you celebrate their life versus mourn their death. I hope you got some love, some inspiration, some value for you to stick around to the end. I appreciate you. Thank you. Feel like this was worthy of sharing. Tag, share, do what you got to do. Team Money, thanks for staying up. Shadi, thanks for sticking to the end. And drop your thoughts, your comments below. Let this feed grow. I appreciate all the condolences and all the thoughts. I appreciate that. And until tomorrow, when we do it all over again. Much love.